and it feels very IPT to take a page out of Wilde and Tausch, which
IPT,
is in poor taste.
Ooh.
And speaking of Wilde and Tausch, yesterday I got after old team Mark Tauscher, and he was upset. And I know when Tausch is upset, when you kind of hear the anger behind the voice, sometimes you can, it's like, oh, it's fun, it's games, haha, we're riffing. This is some real tenacity from Mark Tauscher, not just at me, but at Kyle and Brad as well.
Oh, wow. Brust, first off, is a Bears guy. Like, he's been a Bears fan his whole life, and then he transported himself in. So, whatever.
So he's faking it?
Brust is going to do Brust things. Yeah, Brust is Brust. So he can say things, and that's
God,
exactly, Coach. I couldn't agree more. But Nordy and Kyle just latched on, and it was embarrassing. Like, oh, yeah, Ben, that's a great point, Ben, yeah. And then Ben, a segment later, basically says what I said. Oh, the defense has gotten better. I didn't say they were going to win a Super Bowl. I said the defense played well enough to win. That's what I said, verbatim.
That is what you said. Indeed.
And they crush me. Call me delusional. There were some words thrown around that was just crazy to me. Hunter, what were the other words that they used?
Brust dropped blasphemy on it.
Yeah, I don't even know if he knows what that word means.
Yeah, I was like, I know you didn't go to Wisconsin to play school, but, like, that's not the right word there, Ben. Like, Tausch wasn't speaking in a way of being disrespectful to the Packers. He was talking about the defense getting better and them playing
well. And then
it was weird.
They're hitting the toad button like I'm some frog and a toad for the Packers. I look at things from the perspective of how is this team doing. I've been very critical of Matt LaFleur. Very.
Yes, you have. Indeed.
So I just... that whole conversation, go ahead and tune in and listen, and then listen to the next segment, and you're going to think to yourself like Adam Sandler and Billy Madison. That's honestly what I thought. Like, what did I just listen to? And I just got dumber for listening to what those three fools were saying.
Wow.
So I love this for many reasons. That's Mark Tauscher of Wilde and Tausch, the Packer Hall of Famer, responding to what I had said of just saying, he's a toad for the Packers, and no matter what, everything's great for the Green Bay Packers because he's a Packer Hall of Famer. Number one, the low-hanging fruit when I know I got to somebody is just like, oh, he's from Chicago. He was a Bears fan. I've been here long enough. I've disassociated myself from the ugliest franchise in all of sports, and now I get to laugh at him and use my family as an example of why I am not what they are. Number two, yes, maybe I didn't use the word blasphemy correct, but the best part about that clip was not us laughing. It is sad that I cannot see Alex Strove's face right now, but when he said we were getting a vocabulary lesson was just amazing because Tausch goes, they were saying all sort of things. Like, I thought he was listening. He goes, Hunter, what did they say? He doesn't even freaking know. And then Hunter goes, and they send it to him for Tausch's fight. He can't even fight his own fight. He's got to toss it to Hunter, who the reason why he's on Willie and Tausch because Jesse Nelson took his 18th vacation already in January. And then they take out Kyle Wallace and Brad Nortman for no good reason. Sure, maybe I cherry-picked Tausch's quote a little bit where he said the defense was good enough to win against Philly. And now he's saying, I have been very critical of Matt LaFleur. Oh, thank God, Mark Tauscher. Finally, you said something negative about the Green Bay Packers. Now we can all listen to everything you say, and it's just gold.
Yeah, I knew Ben Brust struck a chord. And we as a show struck a chord when Tausch went personal. Went personal right away. That's how you know. It wasn't even quick into the debate. It was right into personal shots.
Mark Chmura on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy said the exact same things I was saying this morning.
Yeah, and Tausch, he is a Green Bay Packer, and he loves some Green Bay Packers, just like Kyle Wallace and Alex Stroh. And we do as a show. I think sometimes it feels like you can't go critical of the Green Bay Packers. And yes, the defense did improve from last year. If we're going to go statistically, if we're going to lean into the stats, then we're going to talk about that as a marginal improvement because Joe Barry was 10th in total points, 10th or 12th, and the defense was like 8th. So that is a marginal improvement, and it was good. But we just keep on asking the question, right? Are Packer fans sick of just making the playoffs? Winning one game in the playoffs? How far are we from the from the Philadelphia Eagles, from the Kansas City Chiefs, from being a true Super Bowl contender. And if I look at this defense, I don't think it's a championship-level defense. You can't get off the field when it matters, and you can't establish a pass rush, and you are 1 or 2 injuries away, like Xavier McKinney or Jair Alexander, from getting absolutely cooked. So, yes, did they improve? Yes. Do I think that they were probably at somewhere in the top 10 defense? I actually do think they were. But I just think it's throughout the offseason, you gotta look at your blemishes hard in order to find room to improve. That's what we were doing. And I thought that we were being productive in the way that we were.
Yeah, I apologize for absolutely nothing. That is all on Tausch and his way.
Who is that from?
Conor McGregor said that one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But the thing is that Tausch, I don't know what he's talking about. Tausch, you didn't say anything groundbreaking there, right? If you're just going to say the Green Bay Packers defense was good enough to win that game,
Philly?
Duh, Captain Obvious. We all saw that. We already talked about that. Jordan Love threw 3 interceptions in that game. The defense had to go on the field immediately after Keyshawn Nixon fumbled the ball. We all clearly know the Packers defense played well enough in that game to win. We all know the Packers defense took steps in the right direction, but what we were addressing was the fact that the Green Bay Packers did not have enough to win a Super Bowl this year defensively. That's what it all comes down to. So I don't understand why
he just cherry-picked the game that we all – no one's going to disagree, right? And by the way, he goes – and then if you listen to the segment later, Ben says the same thing that I did, that the Packers improved. Actually, in that same segment is when I said there is no doubt that this team had taken steps forward defensively. But the way that we are approaching this offseason for the Green Bay Packers is it's been 2010. Since 2010 that the Green Bay Packers have made a Super Bowl. So I think it's fair, as it's named Titletown, as Packer fans' expectations are to win a Super Bowl every year, to look deeper, to look at, hey, beyond the Philadelphia game, would this defense have been able to hold up 3 more games?
We know that. We
all know. And the team itself as a whole gave us enough sample size through the regular season and how the offense performed. And like we've said, all year it was the offense did this, well then the defense didn't do that. They never put it all together where both sides of the ball were playing complementary to have a great run in the playoffs, and we saw it all in one game. And if we want to cherry pick that the defense was good that game, we can. They were good. I actually remember our first segment that we did after the Packers lost to the Eagles against the in the wild card game. We talked so much about all of our frustrations with Matt LaFleur, and at the end of the segment, we were all fired up. But one thing that we made sure that we said was we got to tip our cap to the defense because the defense did what they needed to do. But that doesn't mean that we can't pick at the fact that right now everyone's wishing and trying to connect the dots of Goody talking with Mr. Spytech or whatever the heck his name is, the general manager of the Raiders, because all everyone wants to know is, are they going to utilize some capital to maybe bring in a pass rusher? If that means Max Crosby or somebody else, so be it. We know there are more holes on this team that they need to fill in order to get to the ultimate goal of going back and having a chance to win a Super Bowl. As it's Kyle Bruston-Nortman live from Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin, courtesy of Michelob Ultra.
Well, there's plenty of blame to go around, right? Offense, defense, special teams, head coach, right? There's plenty of blame to go around. So we're not cherry picking just, hey, let's just focus on the defense and get after them. We've been critical of Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, Goody, the special teams, that punt return in the Chicago game. I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around. But if you're going to look at areas to be maybe hypercritical, right? I would say, well, where did we invest the most, right? If you got a business, if you got multiple businesses out there, and you've got one that you just keep on feeding money into and opportunities into, if it's not performing well, there's something that needs to be addressed with that business. With this, I look at quarterback, first-round draft pick, and a franchise quarterback type contract. And I look at D-line. You have multiple first-round draft picks. You've got several second, even a third contract in Kenny Clark. So I think it's completely fair.
And as you've mentioned many times, heading into 2024, 20+% of their overall salary cap was invested in what position group?
That's the defensive line. So I think if we are going to be hypercritical, it is completely fair to be hypercritical of Jordan Love and the defensive line. And the defensive line, we know, is sort of now the backbone of the NFL. If you've got a rush, you can rush the quarterback. If you can stop the run at the point of attack, which is primarily the defensive line's job, boy, oh boy, you can neutralize almost any offense. So I think it's totally fair to be critical of the defense. And then, of course, course.
And
Jordan
of course, with that, when you do have a pass rush and you do have something like that, then we can ultimately grow the conversation even further and say, now with the guys that we believe in on the back end, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard, obviously Xavier McKinney and Carrington Valentine hoping to take more steps and filling in a spot for Jay Alexander, that all can be easier for them. It won't have so much stress on the back end if you're able to produce more up front, and then we can start having conversations of, yes, despite the defense being top 8, they can take that next step further if they're able to get more pass rush, and then this team with Edgerrin Cooper, who's becoming a star. Quay Walker is still a question mark on results, but he is athletic and fast. If you could put it all together, then we're able to say, this team has something on defense, and then we need Jordan Love as an investment that you said to play to the level that we know he can.
Until you can start bringing up this Jeff Hafley-led defense without saying if or but or, when they, right? When you can stop using those words with this defense, that's when you know this defense is championship ready. But if you're going to use words like if they get this and when they draft this or when these players step up, that's when you know that this team will be better. But right now we're still using if, ands, and buts, and that ain't a championship caliber.
Aren't you using if, ands, and buts about the offense too?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. That's what this football team. I was foolish to sit there and give Ben $15 for a ticket that could win $900 because the football team had too many ifs, ands, and buts offensively and defensively. And I think Ben talked about it. Is the fact that we have not seen enough games out of this team over the past many years where the offense and defense were clicking on cylinder at the same time when it truly mattered.
I think really that's like the thing that's almost frustrating is that you look at everyone across the board, offense, defense, special teams, coaching, everyone's good. They're good. It's a lot to celebrate, but very few areas are truly great. It's not like you got a great defense, top in the NFL, and your offense is struggling. Everybody's good.
And we know that. If we put out a poll and said, were the Packers good, not great, it'd be 95% yes. So we want great. We are looking at this team to be great because it's been way too long with the talent that they've had and the expectations that are there to not get back to a Super Bowl. So the microscope will be out there. But just know, anytime we're talking about the Green Bay Packers, as Homer would say, it's important to talk about the Green Bay Packers as everything pertains in this state to the Green Bay Packers. For us, I would say it's important to talk about the Green Bay Packers as it pertains to getting back to a Super Bowl because it's been too damn long since they haven't, based off the standard that Packer fans have and what the goods that were sold to from us from Titletown. So we'll continue to talk about that. And by the way, that was another productive conversation. Hopefully we won't get any more personal shots.
Now, Tausch, make sure you listen to the whole segment. You need to get out your little feelings. Love you, Tausch.
We apologize for nothing. 800-990-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. You can get your thoughts, as always, there anytime you would like. Coming up next, Alex Strofe. It's a Thursday. I've always have high expectations for Alex Strofe on Tuesdays and Thursdays because he doesn't have an opportunity to do a great YouTube show Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays like he does 12:30 on YouTube
that
for
King
Mr. Relevant.
His great show.
So it's Thursday, and Becoming Relevants have been very good. We'll see if they continue to be very good. Live from Maddie's Bar and Grill. It's Kyle Bruston-Nortman next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick, on the Cha-Cha Slide ACL says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. That's a big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did Cha-Cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry. That's a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Bring in the new year at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships. If it's the new year, it's time for a new ride. So plan on driving into 2025 in style at a Kunis Auto Group dealership near you. Your Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis dealerships feature America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC, all at nearby locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. During January, every remaining new 2024 vehicle plus thousands of select pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs are all being discount price to sell. We've got to make immediate room for hundreds of incoming new 2025, as well as hundreds of fresh trade-ins from the holiday season. We're paying top values on all trades, no matter what the mileage or condition. Don't forget to check out individual dealership websites for pre-owned vehicles super specials. Plus, January service specials on everything from oil changes, tires, and brakes. Ring in big New Year savings at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships or shop online at shopkunis.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
From Maddie's Bar and Grill, walked by the big backyard and wanted to just take this table, this radio equipment, and teleport it outside because it is beautiful out there today. And hope springs eternal is a saying, but hope it's springtime soon. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you. Alex Strofe back at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Studios running the show. As always, KBN Nation 800-990-3776. You can get us there on the Carbless Talk and Text line. We are back live with our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. I said it. Strofe has been dynamite. It's time to see if he can be dynamite again in becoming relevant.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
New year, new us. We got to stop embarrassing ourselves.
Oh, wow. What happened?
What did we do?
It actually has nothing to do with us. It has more to do with the NFL. It's time to get rid of the Pro Bowl, the Pro Bowl games, whatever we want to call it. Let's get rid of it. Number one, nobody gives a damn. Nobody's turning it on for enjoyment on a beautiful January afternoon. Nobody's watching the Pro Bowl. Number two, Pro Bowlers aren't Pro Bowlers. This is what happened this year. Rashawn Gary, as we remember, got voted into the Pro Bowl for being mediocre at best.
Yes, true.
And now over in the AFC, Brad's former teammate who barely knows how to play his position anymore, Russell Wilson, got selected to the Pro Bowl.
Gosh.
And Drake May, who didn't even play for half the season for the New England Patriots, is in the Pro Bowl. Let's stop embarrassing ourselves and just get rid of the thing. It doesn't matter anyway.
This is like a here Strofe out. I actually completely agree. You know, the Pro Bowl was originally set up for two reasons. One, as a treat for like players that did well throughout the year because you get a free trip to Hawaii, you bring your families, you have a good time. But then also to like show another way to show NFC versus AFC supremacy. These dudes would actually play hard. You know, dating back to like 2008 and earlier. These dudes would play hard. Nobody plays hard. The game's over. Guys are opting out at a ridiculous clip. I'm totally with you, Strofe. At this point, just get it out. Let there be all pro. That's the only possible, a recognition you might get individually, and then the individual awards, and just go from there.
Yeah, I 100% agree. The fact that Drake May is in the Pro Bowl is a shame.
Mitchell Trubisky was a Pro Bowler.
It's
for the
ridiculous.
Bears 1 year.
Yeah, no, they need to just get rid of it. At this point, just say, you can be an all-pro and then a Pro Bowler. The fans voted on you.
You sound sad.
Yeah, I am sad because I remember the time where Brian Moorman, with the punter from the Bills, got popped by Sean Taylor, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Because they actually cared, man. It was fun. It was cool. But now it's just a complete joke. I'd rather have them just out there lollygagging, throwing touchdowns, and entertaining people and making tackles than what they're doing now. Drake May is in the Pro Bowl.
Drake May is in the Pro Bowl.
That's unbelievable.
Absurd.
Hell, if I was in the NFL, I might be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Sitting on the bench.
You and me both, brother. I mean,
Are you available that weekend? Sure, come on.
You got
Come to
anything going
Florida.
on? If not, come on over. You're playing dodgeball now. Look, I know Brad and Ben maybe love the University of Wisconsin more, but I do love the University of Wisconsin. But as I said, we got to stop embarrassing ourselves.
What happened now?
So a couple weeks ago, you may remember the story of Xavier Lucas, a young cornerback, transferred to Miami, but technically not because he had a contract through NIL, and he technically wasn't supposed to leave, but he just unenrolled from Wisconsin and enrolled in Miami, and then, the NCAA said, yeah, there's technically no rule against that. Now, yesterday, Nazir Forkriran, I think I said that right, another cornerback for the Badgers, has sued the NCAA, saying that when he played Division II football, his 5-year eligibility clock shouldn't have been running. But that's not the point. I don't care if he wins the lawsuit, loses the lawsuit, whatever. Let's think back to when NIL began, fellas. Do you remember who the very first athlete to launch their own personal NIL store was?
Ooh, good question.
That's a
good
great
good
question.
Trivia
It's
question.
on the tip of my tongue. It's going to kill me when you say it.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
Was it
What school?
Wisconsin.
Oh, Graham Mertz.
Graham Mertz.
It's Graham Mertz.
Oh.
It was
He
Graham
was the
Mertz.
first one in all of NCAA football?
He was the first NCAA football player to launch his own store in NIL.
Wow.
So Graham Mertz,
how about that?
We know how that worked out. And now, in the middle of the transfer portal and NIL rules, there are now 2 Wisconsin defensive backs bringing claims to court. We got to stop embarrassing ourselves. Why is Wisconsin the center of the NIL and transfer portal universe? This is bad. It's a bad look.
I got a gripe.
Hit me with your gripe.
Starting from 2016 up until present day, before NIL, they are paying players back. And I've mentioned this before. So the 2014 and 2015 Wisconsin men's basketball Final Four teams missed the window to be paid back on NIL missed opportunities. I have heard some of the mid to average Wisconsin Badgers that are receiving ginormous checks as part of that payback from NIL.
Yeah, how big we talk?
Are you at liberty to say? You don't have to say names, but just the dollars?
Let's say north of $250K.
Come on!
Right?
Come on.
You a lie, you a lie.
Not a lie. It was brought up in my group text with former Badgers, and I said, please don't ever bring that up again because it makes me want to crawl.
Wait a minute. Time out. Wait
That
a
ain't
minute.
right. That ain't right.
That's a rumor. Didn't nobody get a check yet, right?
No.
No, stop it.
Wow. I'd be mad if I was you, but both of y'all.
So
your blood, sweat, and tears.
I might be going to my guy Brad Nortman, who's very educated.
Do a lawsuit.
Hopefully you know some lawyers. We can make a case about what you did for the program with that fake punt against Iowa to
Who's
help
paying
go.
the money? NCAA?
there's going to be a rev share component with the Badgers, and when they open up that, it's like,
get out of here with
NIL and rev share and all that. Like, it's all coming. So as it starts to come out, it's like, all right. So if you're doing that now, and Brad helped the team get to the Big Ten championship game, and then won the Big Ten championship game, and then went to the Rose Bowl. You know how much revenue the University of Wisconsin made?
Well, y'all both got an education, so
damn the education.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking sports on a daily basis. So much that accounting degree did for me. There is no. I'm trying to find the right word. There's no justice in this, right? Because guys like Ben and I. We look. You can't complain about a full ride scholarship, right? So it's definitely like silver spoon talking. However, I feel like college sports is now a diluted version of itself, right? Because there's all these other concerns. And there are these pampered athletes. So you've got two extremes. You had a level of restriction that was unhealthy. Now you have a level of abundance that's unhealthy. And it's just like it is ruining college sports as we know it. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's completely watered down. Doesn't have the juice that it once did. It's got to get solved. It's got to get solved.
Thank you, Ryan and Madison. Ben, for all the grief I give you, I fully think that you should get a check for what your team and what those guys did in that run for the
That doesn't line your bank account. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Yeah. Where's my check, Ryan?
The currency of kind words.
Y'all should have took some money under the table back in the day.
Nobody really offered me that.
I heard all these stories.
I heard stories.
Where's my money?
They weren't looking to give a 3-star any money.
Yeah.
I guess that's on y'all.
If I knew what I know now, I would have marketed myself way different.
I can't believe that.
I would have went to a lower level and said, I'll go mid-major if you can give me some money.
I tell you what,
are walk-ons getting paid to this?
I don't know, but I know a couple of players that I know are getting some checks upwards of what I had said of a $250.
That is nauseating,
isn't it?
It's nauseating.
Did your stomach sink?
Yes,
because mine.
Yes.
He still wouldn't buy popcorn at the movie theater.
Still wouldn't. And maybe I would give some shades for the master bedroom, but popcorn—that's the line in the sand.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman with you. That was Becoming Relevant with Alex Strofer, live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra, a proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. It is Thursday. It is 2:45, which means it's time to play one of our favorite games, which is Over Under. Caller 16, you will get a category from Alex Strofe. You will also get a chance to choose over or under the line that he has set based off the amount of answers that Brad, Kyle, and myself will get right. We have 3 minutes, 10 guesses, get as many right answers as possible. Caller 16, you get the category and the over-under. You choose. Caller 19, you will be stuck on the other side. 800-990-3776. Again, 800-990-ESPN. Over-under, live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra, a proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. We got over-under, 800-990-3776. Caller 16, caller 19, next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Women ask you, do you love me? Why do you love me?
Wait, why am I always the one doing that? Tell me why you love me, baby. I need you to make me feel better.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys being
turnovers.
serious? You guys can't put two and
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnovers.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you too, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, for your forever true and your fur kids too. For all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call John Saganiak Jr. John Saganiak Jr., Saganiak Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Career points is nice, but the best way to judge scoring, points per game. Marquette's top 10 points per game. Number 1, Marcus Howard. Then George Thompson, Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, and Dean Meminger, the top 5. Don Kojas, Mike Moran, Bob Wolf, Terry Rand, and Tom Flynn, the rest of the top 10, got to be above 16 per game to make the list. Over 20 points per game for a career, only Marcus Howard and George Thompson.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walls for Universal Windows Direct. Universal Windows Direct is offering an amazing deal right now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. That's right. For every 2 windows you buy, you'll get 2 more absolutely free with no limit in 36 months of no interest financing. Plus, if you've already received a quote from another company, bring it to Universal Windows Direct and they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockerontheLake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra, a proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. It is Kyle Brust and Nortman with you till 5 o'clock. ESPN Wisconsin till 4 o'clock. 800-990-ESPN is the Carbless Talking text line. And you can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison. It's time for one of our favorite games. Over Under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle Brust and Nortman. Over Under is brought to you by the Sleeper app. Download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, that's B-R-A-D, and you'll get $55 in free entries when you play $5. That's code BRAD.
All right, fellas, over under time on Kyle Brust and Nortman. The fellas at Maddie's Bar and Grill. I'm keeping a close eye on this video stream, man.
Oh, come on now. You know we have Bud at. We wouldn't cheat. How dare you? Maybe Brad you may not trust.
What?
The rest of us,
Kyle,
we have
in the movie theaters.
I'm appalled by the accusation.
No, I'm not worried about Brad. Brad's going to get in his bag today. I'm worried about you, Kyle.
Me? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Country singers?
What's Ben looking at right now? Just out of curiosity.
An email from Ryan Wollersheim.
Oh, shout out to Ryan Wollersheim. All right, fellas, over under time. Caller 16, Chad in Fitchburg. He does not believe in you guys. He is on the under today. Justin in Milwaukee, caller 19, is on the over, and he said, this is the only time I've ever cheered for Ben Brust.
Oh, wow.
It's a good line there from Justin.
You and Mark Tauscher.
All right, boys, get in your bag today because it is a high mark. 8.5 you're over under today.
Oh, wow.
I am looking for the last 10 players to win Super Bowl MVP. I need a final answer, and we will roll.
Okay, and if there's repeats, it just obviously shifts
Correct.
back.
Last 10 players, yes.
Are you going to give us the years once we guess?
Yes, correct. Who's
All
your
right,
final
boys.
answer?
Who wants to be the ringleader? Brad, you played in the Super Bowl. You'll be the final answer
Yeah,
guy.
I guess
All
I
right.
can do it.
Brad, you are up in 3, 2, 1, go.
May I have the start of Von Miller, please? Final,
Put that in there.
final answer.
Yeah, Von Miller did it in 2016.
Did Malcolm Butler win the one where he got the interception against the Patriots? Did he win that one?
Hang on. Why don't we go backwards,
well,
boys?
I know-
Like, recent to
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Pat Mahomes.
I assume that's a final answer because I'm
say
going to give it to
final.
you.
Come on,
Final
Brad.
answer.
Final
Stop.
answer for
Patrick
that one.
Mahomes won it in 2024,
Did
2023,
Aaron
and
Donald win
2020.
it, or did Matt Stafford? Aaron Donald?
I think it was. Oof, I don't remember. I think it was.
What's it?
I don't know,
Cooper.
right? I know Brady won it the
That
year
was-
that James White
Okay,
should have
Tom
won it.
Brady.
So Tom Brady.
Tom
final.
Brady.
Yeah, Brady also won it 3 times in 2021, 2017, and 2015.
The
Okay, it goes
2021
back
is
to 20.
interesting
It
'cause
goes
that was
back
the
to
Buccaneers.
2015. How about? Oh yeah, the. How about the Eagles? Did Brandon Graham win it?
No.
Or who's that one like random defensive player that won it for the Eagles?
Oh, was it? No, of course.
2 minutes.
Okay. Anyway, let's
Random
do.
defensive Eagles player won that.
Rams. What about the Seahawks? It will go back that far.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
multiples. Did
I-
Russell win it?
Russell didn't win it
no, he
because
didn't
that's why
win
they
it.
handed it off to try to get. They didn't hand it off. They gave it. Did Marshawn win it that year? I don't
even remember. This is not good.
This is hard.
This is brutal,
Too
boys.
high of a bar.
Well,
Boy, I do not know my Super Bowl
I
MVPs.
feel like Malcolm
Who-
Butler won it. Oh, maybe you did.
How
I
about
don't
a
know. Maybe
deep
you just
breath?
got
Work through the teams that have won it, guys. Come on. This
Yeah,
isn't
well, we
this
were
hard.
on the Eagles.
You've only got 3 right so far.
Did Matthew Stafford win it?
I mean, we got to guess at this point.
Let's just guess Stafford. Matthew Stafford final.
Nope.
Oh no, it was Aaron Donald. Okay. Or
Aaron.
Cooper.
Yeah, well, I don't. If Matt Stafford didn't win, I don't think Cooper did a whole lot that Super Bowl.
No, that's right. They
1
didn't do it.
minute.
No, it had to be Aaron. It had to be
Aaron
Donald.
Donald final. Gee.
Why did we blow it on the same?
I don't know
Because
why.
we're not
I-
getting any.
Yeah,
That's it. You guys lost.
Yeah, we're gonna lose this one. Strofe, I think you overcompensated from last week by trying to have a
No, I
super high
didn't.
number.
This
yes,
is an unbelievably pathetic. You guys have 3
Can we
right.
think of any other Super Bowl MVP? I can't.
But,
Yes, you can.
Oh, Isaiah Pacheco. I don't.
Aaron Rodgers final back in 2011. Did it go back that far?
Yeah, there you go. Aaron Rodgers in 2011. Tough.
Okay, that was a long time ago.
Okay, then who else won Super
sick
Bowls?
right now.
I don't know why you sick. We weren't gonna get this one.
This
I'm telling you
is
this right now.
pathetic.
It's so bad.
No, it's not.
No, it's bad.
It's not.
Who won? Did Eli Manning win it for the
Guys,
Giants?
just stop.
In
We
2011.
lost. I just want to hear the answers. I'm defeated.
We'll be okay.
Eli Manning final.
Yeah, Eli Manning won it in 2012.
I'm out now. I know a weird defender won it for the Eagles.
Everyone just
This is
the more we
this-
talk, the
yeah,
worse we
you
sound.
guys sound
Just-
like complete
just
idiots.
Let Strofe go.
Let's
so we
just
don't
work through it.
embarrass
All right.
ourselves.
So most
Come on,
recent,
yeah.
as mentioned, Patrick Mahomes won it the last 2 years. The year prior, it was not Matthew Stafford or Aaron Donald. It was Cooper Kupp who won it in 2022.
Really?
Tom Brady won it in 2021. Mahomes won it in 20. In 2019, it was Julian Edelman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna remember Julian Edelman. My behind.
That was why I made it 8.5. I didn't think you'd get that one.
So you thought we were gonna get one wrong?
2018, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Who won it?
It was some defensive player.
Well, I
No,
thought
it was
Nick
not.
Foles.
It was Nick Foles. It was the
Yeah, I was
quarterback.
thinking about Nick
Really?
Foles.
Yeah, really. The quarterback won Super Bowl MVP. I know, shocking.
Bizarre.
Brad got 2016. Bad memories of that one. That was Von Miller. Back in 2014, it was a defensive player for Seattle.
Malcolm Smith.
Now that's the guy I'm thinking of.
Malcolm Smith is correct. And then
I
in
wasn't gonna get that
2013, the Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco?
You got it. Those are your answers. Congratulations to Chad in Fitchburg.
I still disagree with the getting one wrong. We were going to remember Malcolm
Yeah,
Smith and Julian
8.5
Edelman were
was-
tough.
Yeah, you guys are
if
getting
anything,
crushed.
it should have been 7.5.
You guys are getting crushed on the Carbless Talking text line. Marcus chimes in. How are you guys sports fans? Rich Pecker and Spread Eagle says that is the worst over-under performance ever.
It reads as worst over/under performance ever? ? So don't be embellishing
Well,
right now.
question mark. The answer with a period is yes. Maybe even an exclamation point.
No, it wasn't bad. No, because Strofe, you would have struggled on this one too. So shut up.
Political.
Anytime somebody has the list in front of them, like they're like,
Malcolm Smith. Most people don't remember who the hell Malcolm Smith is.
But
Stop playing
he's
with me.
the answer to a trivia question that you just missed on. I would have gotten all 10 of these. Maybe not.
Okay. Oh, you know what, Strofe? Okay, you know what? One of these days we're gonna flip the script on you. You know,
Let's do
on
it.
Sunday Karma, I'm gonna flip the script on you.
No. Over under, we come up with the list.
I love
Strokes
it.
by himself.
I love it.
That's
I love
so
it.
Next
good.
week.
I love
That's so good.
Next Thursday,
I love
we're
it.
doing that. Change the ESPN Wisconsin contest rules ASAP. Let's punk this kid. I'm disappointed.
I mean, it's what it is. You know, I'm not. We weren't going to win it regardless because we weren't going to get Julian Edelman. We weren't going to get Myron Smith.
We're better than that.
No, I know. I live in reality.
No, I'll take ownership.
I'm not right there.
I'm done. What did you answer? You
Nothing.
just sat there. Wait, say final answer. You didn't give anything.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. But first, Brad.
Oh, yes.
You're going to tell us how to be better than what we did at Over Under with Sleeper.
We might not win with Over Under, but you can sure win with the Sleeper app. That's because playing with Sleeper Picks, you can win big money and enjoy every minute of the action. Whatever sport you want to, you can do that with the Sleeper app. Here's how you do it. Download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. If you're right, you can win up to 100 times your cash. I recently just won one that was 6 times my cash, 4 times my cash. That money starts to multiply like this. And the thrill of doing it, there's nothing quite like it. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to play just $5, and they're going to receive $55 in free entries. One $5 play gets you $55 in free entry. Brad, how do you possibly do that? I'm going to tell you right now. Download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. That's my name. And you're going to be able to get $55 in free entries when you play just $5. Sleeper Picks app, code BRAD. You'll thank me later. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for this one for not providing anything, but also for considering myself a ball knower of football and not providing, as Joe in the Boonies says, I am so disappointed. A real ball knowers know that Malcolm Smith won the Super Bowl MVP. I'll dig deep into soul searching tonight.
I'm usually turning off the game before they announce
Oh, yeah,
Super
it's
Bowl
bedtime
MVP.
for you.
Well past it.
Back in 2 minutes, speaking of Von Miller, who won the Super Bowl MVP in Brad's Super Bowl in 2016, on First Take of ESPN, Brad's former teammate maybe distance himself from Brad forever. Cam Newton said something erroneous. Next.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D.
Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit and enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. We'll even stay overnight in a medieval castle. Join me for all of the experiences and so many more. All the details are online at ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. Don't worry about the planning. Colette handles all the details of this 10-day excursion. You can get full scoop of this once-in-a-lifetime trip on February the 2nd at 5 p.m. as I'll be hanging out with the Colette team at Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin. That's February 2nd, 5 p.m. Maddie's in New Berlin. Don't miss out.
The Milwaukee Panthers basketball teams host 2 key conference matchups this weekend. On Saturday, the Panther women's team takes on Cleveland State. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. at the Kalachi Center. Then, Bart Lundy and the Panther men's basketball team closes out action against Purdue Fort Wayne with a 2 p.m. game on Sunday at Panther Arena. That's Panther women's basketball on Saturday and Milwaukee men's basketball on Sunday. Visit mkepanthers.com to select your seat. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
Live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra. And speaking of Michelob Ultra, we have some big time, and I mean big time breaking news.
Now this is some breaking news.
In front of my beautiful face, welcome to the Ultra Club. Bucks Warriors, February 10th, which is on Monday at 7 p.m.
Oh, wow.
We have 2 tickets to the Ultra Club. That is an awesome game. Now, because Michelob Ultra is here with us, the first person listening to this show that can make it to Maddie's Bar and Grill, come up to me, Ben Brust, tell me how much you love me. I have 2 Ultra Club tickets to the Warriors-Bucks game, courtesy of Michelob Ultra. That all you got to do is come to Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin. Come to me, Ben Brust. Say I'm amazing. Tell me you love me. Oh, yeah, Waystrofe. And I will hand you these wonderful, wonderful tickets.
That's amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Man, to the Warriors, too.
I know.
That's what Michelob Ultra said, Benny. You can give these away, but only if they tell you how much they love you.
That was verbatim from our great team of Michelob Ultra.
That's amazing. Good for that.
Not love us as a show.
No, just me.
Ben Brust.
Yep. Tell Brad he's a nerd, tell Kyle he's emotional, and tell Ben you're amazing. And I hand these 2. I can hold them up. I just don't want to hold the barcode up. On stream right now, you can see they're real. I'm holding them up. The 2 Ultra Club passes. You come here at Maddie's Bar and Grill, you receive 2 free Bucks Warriors Ultra Club tickets to the Milwaukee Bucks Warriors game. That is amazing, as people would say.
No, that is amazing. I love that.
I know Kyle's looking at him like he's trying to steal them.
Can I win them?
No,
Ben, you're amazing. Can I win them?
I would dare call you
can't
amazing.
just text it. You can't call it. You can't YouTube comment. I know everyone spends the entire time doing that already, telling me how amazing I am, like Mark Tauscher did yesterday on Wildy and Tausch. But all you got to do, come to Maddie's Bar and Grill, and I got these Ultra Club tickets for Bucks Warriors right here for you. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, hanging with you, KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, Brad Nortman, some electrifying news taking over the internet with your former teammate Cam Newton on ESPN's First Take. Alex Strofe, let's hear from Cam Newton.
Just to pose this thought, what's more important, impact or championships? You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, you stood up on the table and blah, 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 blah. Everybody's not going to be Michael Jordan. Everybody's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's not going to be these individuals who have the luxury of saying, hey, I not only dominated this sport, but I also have championships to back it. Like, let me remind you, Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Respectfully, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. So, MVP. Yes, when you look at those guys and you say, okay, what's more important? Would you have preferred to win a Super Bowl? I think that's the humble approach. But if we're being honest, the impact of you holding yourself accountable to say everybody has a responsibility to do. And you can say as an MVP award winner or an All-American, you've held yourself or you've held your end of the bargain down. And that's what it really comes down to for me. I know that's not the popular pick. I'm trying to be popularized. But my take is I'm taking individual success because I did my job.
Now, when I heard this,
that was Cam Newton on First Take.
I did my job.
Brad, did you do your job?
When I did my job, Cam. Now let me start with this. Cam has been nothing but kind, supportive, and a good teammate to me. So I've had very little to bad things to say about Cam Newton. I'm going to start there. And his year in 2015 was unbelievable. Best season ever for a Carolina Panther and best season in the NFL that year because he did win the MVP. So I love me some Cam Newton.
Uh-oh.
However, this is why when people ask, who were your team leaders that year, Brad, in that Super Bowl year, I don't mention Cam. I mention Ryan Khalil and Greg Olsen and Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis. I mentioned countless guys before I mentioned Cam because even though this is a pretty shocking revelation from Cam, I didn't know it really went this deep as to him valuing himself over team. He never was that guy that was the true, I will sacrifice myself for the team. Now, football's a team sport, boys. If you want to play an individual sport, go play golf, go play tennis, go play pickleball, play anything other than football because it's the ultimate team sport. And winning the championship is the highest praise that there can possibly be in the NFL. So it certainly matters more than MVP. No, I've never won an MVP. I've never had the impact of Cam. Cam is 1,000 times the player I was. But the fact that he would willingly not sacrifice the MVP for a championship, it just goes to show a self-centered focus that you cannot win with. That mentality right there, that's why we didn't win the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
When you are so focused on self, it's impossible to win a team sport. So honestly, too, the irony is, if you're like Tom Brady, where the only thing that matters is winning. That's all that matters. Patrick Mahomes, that's all that matters. You get the MVPs thrown in. And one more thing about Nick Foles. Nick Foles has a statue in Philadelphia. He has a statue outside that stadium. Cam Newton will never have a statue outside of Carolina because he didn't win a Super Bowl. I was part of that team. So respectfully, Cam, you're great. I love you. You are an MVP. You are a stud. But you're not a Super Bowl champion. I'm not a Super Bowl champion. And Super Bowl champions, that counts for 100 MVPs.
Let me ask you this right now. Do you think Aaron Rodgers would give up any of those MVPs for a Super Bowl?
He should be willing to give up all 4 of them for another Super Bowl.
Yep.
Put that in the poll. Would Aaron Rodgers give up all 4 MVPs for a Green Bay Packers Super Bowl?
We sit back and when we talk about quarterback greatness, we never sit back and say, you know what, Kyle? He didn't win enough MVPs.
No.
You know, he might have won all
Hang on.
these Super Bowls.
Breaking news. Who we got here? Oh, we got Matt from Maddie's Bar and Grill. Unfortunately, you cannot win the Ultra Club tickets to the Bucs Warriors game. I thought you were going to snag those. They're still up for grabs. The first person to come in, and right now, by the way, we have offered these wonderful tickets courtesy of Michelob Ultra, the Ultra Club for the Bucs Warriors game, February 10th on Monday. I had said you have to come in here and say, Ben, I love you. Right away, lasagna from Milwaukee. I work 3 minutes away from Maddie's. I refuse to come in and tell you I love you, Ben.
I'm mad at
the price is too high for those tickets by telling you I love you, Ben. That's from Justin. So, all right, fine. You don't have to tell me you love me. Just come say you love Kyle and Brad and say you don't like Ben, and you win these at Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultras. Maddie himself just stopped by to say hello.
So my last thought on Cam is I hold the MVP to a very high standard. What an accomplishment. To be the MVP of the NFL, what an accomplishment. I have no problem with Cam Newton or anybody holding that as an incredibly high level of esteem and desire. What I have a problem is holding that over a championship. What do you value most? do you value most an MVP or do you value most a Super Bowl? Every time it should be a Super Bowl. And if I never played with Cam Newton and I never played with him in a Super Bowl, I would still be saying that. We never sit back and say, you know what? He was a great quarterback, but he never won an MVP. He won all these Super Bowls, but he never won an MVP. That doesn't happen. Super Bowl championships equal.
Come on in. Yeah, there we go. Hey. What's your name? Tommy from where? Tommy from Heartland.
Tommy, you drove all the way from Heartland here, huh?
He was in the area listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, and he walked into Maddie's Bar and Grill and said, Ben, I love you. Courtesy of our great friends at Michelob Ultra, you will receive these 2 Ultra passes to the Warriors-Bucks game on Monday. Congratulations, and thank you for listening. As he gets a round of applause from everybody.
Tommy came in here like a movie.
Bad on hell.
He ran in the door. He looked. He said, I love you, Ben Brust. I said, dang.
I was like, whoa, my fiance is listening right now. Congratulations to you. Enjoy the game. Beer for Tommy, please.
Yeah.
We'll get him that. Let's say everyone smile while we're on the air. That was pretty cool. The way he came in here. Woohoo! We're going to break. We'll be right back. Jason Wilde, next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Westbound 94, looks like we've got an issue at 25th Street. The right lane's blocked with a broken down vehicle, so watch out for that. We've got more delays then from about 35th Street through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43 backing up from about Keefe all the way down past Center Street. Southbound 41 slowing down just south of Silver Spring all the way down to Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies. A rain chance to the south later on. A low of 35. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, mainly dry from I-94 and north. Rain chances to the south. A high of 40. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazadow, 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Watch the Bucks on broadcast TV. It's Dame time on WMLW when the Bucks take on Wemby and the Spurs in San Antonio. Can Giannis stop one of the game's rising stars? Find out on WMLW The End. Broadcast channel 49.1. And watch select games on broadcast TV all season. Go to WMLW.com for a full schedule and how to watch. Bucks, Spurs, Friday at 6:30 on WMLW The End.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellerson, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at wisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channels. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue. And these blinding lights, they shine so bright like we're on the moon. I don't wanna dance another beat, no, unless it's with you.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brett Nortman live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra. Excited to be joined now by Jason Wilde, who we got to see in the flesh today at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio in our offices in downtown Milwaukee. It says to hold everyone accountable. Jason Wilde, welcome into Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Great to be here, boys. How are you?
Doing fantastic. It was just a fun time here, helping our great partners give away something wonderful. But we did have a chance to listen to Mark Tauscher earlier on Wilde and Tausch, your very program on these very stations. And what we came to the conclusion is, sure, maybe Tausch was talking specifically about the Packers defense being good enough to win in that Philadelphia game. And I don't think we're going to get any disagreements here across the board. Kyle, Brad, yes, no? No disagreements? The way we've been dissecting this is the feel that we get is since 2010, the Packers haven't been to a Super Bowl. So we're going deep under the microscope to figure out how and what they need to do to get there. And I think that was the thesis of how our conversation evolved, based off Mark Tauscher saying that the defense was good enough to beat the Eagles. Fair or unfair?
Well, I'm glad you're putting it in the proper context because I believe he was pretty irritated with you.
Oh, wow.
We could tell. We could tell, Jason.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, you didn't need me to tell you. Look, I think it's important, and I understand all the shtick about, they call it Title Town for a reason and all that stuff. It's really blank and hard to win Super Bowls. And if you don't believe me, ask 2 other signature franchises, the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. Ask the New York Giants, right? Ask the Giants who won in 2007 and again in 2011, and they're nowhere. I mean, they're a heck of a lot farther away than the Packers are right now. So I do think it's important, and I understand your point, Ben, that you're digging down and really doing a deep dive into why they haven't been to a Super Bowl since 2010. But, it would be a lot more work to do a deep dive into why the Cleveland Browns or the Detroit Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. And I know that there are different expectations for different organizations. But this is, to me anyway, underscores just how hard it is because let's say we took Tausch's statement as that they were good enough on defense to win a Super Bowl. That's not what he said, but he also said that he thought the winner of Packers-Eagles was going to the Super Bowl, which did happen. So let's say the Packers win that game and do go to the Super Bowl. It would be because the defense played as well as it did, not because the offense had been so awesome down the stretch of the season. And my point is that there were years where the offense was good enough. There were years where the defense was maybe good enough, including this year. But everything's got to be good enough at the same time. And on top of it, you got to get the ball to bounce your way. And that has not occurred. And that's why we're sitting here 15 years removed from their last championship or last Super Bowl appearance.
Jason, I just got to know. I know you said Tausch said he believed the winner of the Packers versus Eagles game was going to go to the Super Bowl. You don't believe the Packers would have actually went to the Super Bowl had they won that game, do you?
Well, I think what his opinion was that they would then go to Detroit and beat Detroit because of all the injuries they had on their defense. And then after that, they're playing, the Vikings, the Rams, the Commanders, whoever it might have been, and believing that they could beat that team too. So, again, likely, no, but possible for sure.
Okay.
Jason, we just heard a clip from Cam Newton on First Take this morning, was
Yeah.
it? On First Take. And boy, it hit me right in the gut because basically he said that he wouldn't trade his MVP for a Super Bowl championship, and he went on to talk about how he just values that more than a championship. I wonder, if we were having an honest conversation with Aaron Rodgers, do you think he would trade any of his MVPs for another Super Bowl championship? And if so, how many would he turn in for another Super Bowl championship? I said he would probably turn in all 4 to be a 2-time Super Bowl championship quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Cam Newton really said that?
He did.
It was wild.
It was fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, does that sentiment blow you away, Jason?
Yeah, because all the great competitors, the most important thing is winning. Have you called your former teammate and asked him about the wisdom of that comment?
I definitely shared my thoughts last segment and basically said, that a mentality like that is why we didn't win the Super Bowl, because, the football is the ultimate team sport, and if you don't have everybody putting, team before self, it's just not going to work.
Well, I'll say this. He gets credit for being honest, right? Because he knows that it's not the right thing to say. I can't. Like, what good do MVPs, like, if you have to choose between one, what good does an MVP do you as opposed to what a title has done you? If you're the starting quarterback for the Super Bowl champs, isn't that worth as much, if not more, than being an NFL MVP?
That's what I would think. And honestly, too, he even said Brad Johnson won MVP, Trent Dilfer, Nick Foles won an MVP, Super Bowl. I said, well, Nick Foles has got a statue outside in Philadelphia, and I don't think Cam ever will have a statue. So just an interesting conversation in, the value of MVPs versus the value of Super Bowls. To me, and I'm sure all of KBN Nation, all Packer fans, boy, you would take a Super Bowl. A Super Bowl might equal 5 MVPs in order to get that Super Bowl championship. That's how rare and how important it certainly is.
Yeah, I think Rodgers would definitely give up all 4. I think he is, whatever his faults are, I do think he's the ultimate competitor and wanting to win. And also, let's be honest, I think the better award to win is the Super Bowl MVP. So go win 2 more Super Bowls and have 2 more Super Bowl MVPs, and nobody's asking about how many NFL MVPs you've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fascinating thing to hear somebody who played at the high level and was almost there admit that. Part of me, just still, doesn't want to believe it's true, but based off the evidence that Brad talked about as his teammate, it kind of feels like it's something that might have some validity. But I'm with you. I think that, despite Aaron Rodgers' shortcomings of getting to Super Bowls, I think if you watched any part of the football part of the documentary Enigma, I mean, the journey of getting back to the Super Bowl and the passion that he had in the loss of the 2020 NFC Championship game against the Buccaneers, and obviously the way that they went out as the 1 seed in 2021, I think Rodgers would give all 4 up right away, and I don't even think it's a question. But maybe I'm just repeating everything you said there. It's just I'm just fascinated that Cam said that.
Yeah, and Jason, I have to think, and also in the conversation we started the show with was, man, it's so hard to get to a Super Bowl. Do you have? I know us as a show maybe has expectations for Jordan Love to eventually get there. Do you think that Packer fans need to adjust their expectations to be like, you know what, Jordan Love can have a satisfactory NFL career, and Matt LaFleur at that as well, without ever getting to a Super Bowl? Or do you think Super Bowl is required if you're going to have Packer fans look back and say, you know what, that was a good career for a head coach and cute quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know. Satisfactory and good are, if you're a true competitor, that's not enough, right?
Yeah.
And if Jordan's their starting quarterback for the next 10 years and LaFleur's their coach for the next 10 years, and you ask them when they both retire or LaFleur gets fired or Love gets traded to the Jets, I think they would say there's a big hole in my football life because I never won a Super Bowl. I just feel like that's such a, it's such a different thing. Like, if you played high school sports, certainly the dream was to make it to state, right? And, when I was in high school, we had WISA, which you basically had to win like 2 games to get to state. But the fact of the matter is that, that's not likely. In the NFL, it's different. And obviously that's a dream come true to play for a title no matter what the level, whether it's high school, college, or pro. But, yeah, I would think, especially in Green Bay where we know what the history is and we know what the quarterbacking history is and we know what the coaching history is, I don't know how you can look back on your career and feel great satisfaction if that's the hole in your resume. Ask Dan Marino, who had a magnificent NFL career and a Pro Football Hall of Fame career, and I am sure he looks back and says, God, I just wish I would have made it. I just wish I would have won a Super Bowl. I'm sure every year when the Super Bowl's on, he thinks about it.
Jason, you talked about the standard, right? It's not a realistic standard to think that Green Bay Packers are going to go to the Super Bowl every single year. That's just not realistic. So what is the standard for Matt LaFleur to continue to keep his job? Is it he makes the playoffs year in, year out, he'll always be the coach here in Green Bay?
I mean, you have to have a chance to have a chance, and by making the playoffs, you have a chance to have a chance. I mean, there are plenty of coaches that had success, but not enough success and got fired, right? I mean, ask the Bears about Lovie Smith, who took them to a Super Bowl, who had a winning record when they fired him. Like, they pondered. Yeah, I mean, that's bad, right? To see what has gone on with that organization since then, that's got to be tough to stomach. And I'm not saying that Lovie Smith is like some sort of Hall of Fame coach. I'm not saying that, but my thought is always nothing guarantees you that the devil you don't know is going to be better than the one that you do. And so, you could say Matt LaFleur hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl and this and that, and maybe you decide, all right, we're going to try something different. It could always go worse. And I'm not saying that's a reason to keep someone, but if you're constantly in the divisional round or the NFC championship round, that means you're a pretty good coach. And let's remember, Andy Reid, who is now a clear-cut Hall of Famer, in Philadelphia, he made it to a bunch of NFC championship games, and he made it to one Super Bowl, but he did not win any titles until he got to Kansas City. Was he a bad coach there? Did he suddenly just become a great coach in Kansas City? Or are there a lot of circumstances that decide NFL success? I would say the answer is number 2.
Well, Jason, it's interesting you bring that up because I think people talk about Andy Reid before he won the championship. The one blemish, the one thing he was missing was that Super Bowl title. I mean, that takes you to a whole other level.
It does.
Well, and that's
but
what
does
he's
that mean
bringing
he was a
the
bad
nuances. Yeah.
No, it
is
Well,
fascinating.
Andy Reid went to 5 straight NFC championships games.
Yeah.
Think about that. I think 1 Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and obviously they kind of struggled at the end and they fired him. But that just goes to show you can be very, very good, but not great. And at some point, the line is just over.
Yeah, no, I just think about all the great coaches that Dan Reeves couldn't get one and he finally got one, right? Like, I just think about that. So,
Jason, we will be having Gina Della from Pella on our show on Monday, and it is the same day that she will be at my house as some windows and doors, or just door, will be installed at the Brust household. Is there one question that you want to make sure we ask Gina Della from Pella before we tell everyone about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin?
Who would you rather have on a billboard, Ben Brust or Mark Tauscher next to you?
Oh, wow.
Considering she's already had Mark Tauscher next to her, I think I'm set up for failure there. We appreciate the time, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That's Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch. And as I mentioned, Gina Della from Pella will have a show that's debuting on 620 WTMJ this coming Saturday. So make sure you tune in for that. And make sure you tune in when she joins Kyle Brust and Nortman on Monday, the same day that I'm having those beautiful Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin join KBN. And they're going to come to my house and they're going to install the windows and the door. And it's going to transform my home value, energy costs with great warranties of the Pella products, and it feels like Christmas in February. I said February is the worst month in the world. Well, guess what? Pella's going to make February the best month in the world at the Brust household. Check them out at PellaWI.com or 855-PELLA-WI. We didn't get to it earlier, but I do have a fourth wish on Ben Brust's off-season wish list for the Green Bay Packers. I will give some credit to Kyle Wallace and Brad Nortman because they are co-brainchilds of the fourth wish. That's coming up next, live from Maddie's Bar and Grill.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
And I'm going to quote the great Martin Luther King in this.
Wow.
I'm going to bring up MLK. You know what he said? Oh, wow. He said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And you know what matters to me? Booing Craig Counsell and booing the Chicago Cubs.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We still have a little bit of a backup along southbound 41 from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 is going to be heavy right through the Marquette interchange. And westbound 94, we've got delays from 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, rain chance to the south. Later on, a low of 35. And tomorrow, mostly cloudy, mainly dry from I-94 north. Some rain chances to the south, a high of 40. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is senior Jake Hansen from Wauwatosa West. A starting guard on the Trojans basketball squad, Hansen now sits alone at the top of the record books for Tosa West. His 18 points in a recent game, making him the #1 all-time leading scorer in Tosa West history. While the Trojans remain embattled in a race for the top of the Greater Metro Conference title race, Hansen, of course, is a big piece to making that happen. As for what's next for the senior, Hansen is racking up the Division I offers, including from Buffalo, Cal Poly, St. John's, and Arizona State. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Wauwatosa West boys basketball all-time leading scorer, Jake Hansen.
Whether you are a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit our great city of Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Hey, maybe you got friends coming in from out of town. St. Kate the Arts Hotel is ideally located in the heart of the theater district in downtown Milwaukee with deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, and nightly live music. You and your friends will enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com. That's stkatearts.com.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy here. Don't let the chilly weather end your golf season. X-Golf and American Family Field is open all year round. They've got innovative and accurate golf simulators, all overlooking left field at AmFam Field. Enjoy daily lunch specials or have an outing with your friends and take in X-Golf's full bar and food menus. X-Golf AmFam Field is even offering golf lessons by a PGA Pro. Everyone is welcome at X-Golf AmFam. Book your sim today. XGolfAmFamField.com. I'll see you out there.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
You my little boo thing, so I'll give a hoot what you do say, girl. I know you a little too tame. I'll be shooting that shot like 2K, girl. I know. Tell 'em I'm next. Tell 'em you find a little something.
800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Norman live from Maddie's Bar and Grill, courtesy of Michelob Ultra, a proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, and we go to the phone lines. Let's go to Josh in Kenosha. Josh, you have a reaction to Cam Newton saying he wouldn't trade in his MVP season for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I gotta kind of go at him a little bit. He said Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer. Eli Manning is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP and 2-time Super Bowl champs. Cam is nothing compared to Eli. Sorry. He looks like a clown for that. I mean...
So you would take Eli Manning over Cam?
I agree. Eli has more of a Hall of Fame resume than Cam.
Because of the Super Bowls, not because
whether he's a better player or not is irrelevant to the conversation of being a Hall of Famer. His resume speaks for himself on the 2-time Super Bowl MVP, which we sucked at getting Super Bowl MVPs right and over-under earlier in the program.
And what's interesting about that is Cam was a 2-time Super Bowl MVP based off how his career went. He would be a shoo-in.
Oh, a shoo-in
Hall of Famer. But he's not going to make it in the Hall of Fame.
If we won Super Bowl 50 and he was Super Bowl MVP, he might already be a Hall of Famer because you're talking about his
career was cut short because of injury.
Yeah, exactly. And like he would have had between 2013 and 2016. I know people aren't that interested in Cam Newton's career here, but like he was one of the best quarterbacks on planet Earth. He capped that off in winning an MVP, and if he would have been a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP, you would have said those 3 or 4 years he would have been the best quarterback, and it would have been Hall of Fame worthy.
And we have it out on Twitter at KBN ESPN following Brad Nortmanism's teammate Cam Newton saying he wouldn't give up his MVP for a Super Bowl. Do you think Aaron Rodgers would give up his 4 MVPs for one more Super Bowl? 75% of people say yes, 25% of people say no. Madtown alum chimes in. I think he may like Madison as well. If he had never won a Super Bowl, then probably yes. But since he has a ring, I'm thinking he'd probably like to keep the personal treatments without admitting it. Otherwise, his career would be more comparable to Eli.
I mean,
whose career would you rather have? I guess Rodgers. Still, but
I'd still want Rodgers.
Super Bowl and MVPs, you the man.
I guess when you don't have one, you give up almost anything to get the one. But then to go from 1 to 2 and start stacking them, that's when I guess I could understand the sacrifice, but I still believe maybe he could get 1 MVP, he'd trade the other 3 for 1 more. 1 MVP, 2 Super Bowls, I think he'd rather have that.
Are you going to call Cam? Are you going to call him up and say...
I actually don't have his number. I don't have Cam's number.
If you're resourceful, you could get it.
That's true. I know several people that do.
So, Brad, if you had to give up the fact that, let's say, you only played 1 year in the NFL, but you won a Super Bowl at 1 year, but you didn't get to play in the NFL ever again, would you be like, it is what it is?
Well, you're saying I would get to play 1 year. Would I trade my 6-year career for 1 year?
For 1 year.
I only play on one rookie deal, one rookie year, and win a Super Bowl?
Yep.
I would be a Super Bowl champion. I would trade, even if I won state and won the 2 Rose Bowls. Badger fans might not be happy about this one. Even if we won all 3 of those.
Rose Bowls aren't natty.
I would trade those all in for 1 Super Bowl championship. I trade the whole career for 1 Super Bowl championship.
You must be really good at trading stocks.
I'm all right.
No, because I'm saying you're giving up 5 years of cash move.
Yeah, I mean, but to be a Super Bowl champion puts you in incredibly rarefied air. I mean, look, it's already rare air to play in the NFL. I get that, but Super Bowl champion, I think you could, no matter what, you walk away with a level of satisfaction.
A good question. I'm struggling with that one for Brad.
6 years in the NFL.
But he's got a strong take on it.
Or 1 year at minimum and you win a Super Bowl.
I mean, I wonder how cheap you'd be if you only played 1 year in the NFL. Lexi's still being a putt-putt or walk.
Sharing one car and it's 20 years old.
Yeah,
That's
you guys would have like a motorcycle and she'd be riding in the seat next to it. I want to tell everyone about Palermo's Pizza because you know I love me some Palermo's, and we have a lot of family coming in town this weekend for my daughter's celebration of her first birthday, which means Frozen Pizza Friday is tomorrow. And what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go to my local grocer, and I'm going to pick out my favorite Palermo's pizzas, which are typically the Screamin' Sicilian brands, but they have so many brands. Connie's, Screamin' Sicilian, Urban Pie, Neighborhood, you name it, they have it. So I'm going to get a smorgasbord of Palermo's pizzas for Frozen Pizza Friday. But the go-tos and the ones that everyone gravitates towards are my favorites, which are the Screamin' Sicilian brands, tavern style, 2.5 feet of stuffed crust cheese in the I'm stuffed crust cheese pizza. The OG Screamin's thin and crispy, they have it all. Check out Screamin' Sicilian. Find it in your local grocer's freezer. It is absolutely amazing and delicious and will be served at the Brust household for Frozen Pizza Friday. Coming up next, we're going to get to it. The fourth wish on the wish list of Ben Brust for the Packers offseason.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Pull my baby out the goal. Y'all, get him out. Ain't no way in the world my baby going to get hit that many times with a puck.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota. Iota.
Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch.
What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
39 points and 12 boards, not enough in Portland as the Bucks fall to the Blazers 125-112 on Tuesday night. Bucks heavily out-rebounded in the loss 52-36, including 17 offensive rebounds allowed to the Blazers.
I just thought they were the aggressor, guys. We're asking almost the same question. They beat it off the dribble. They were the more physical team. We fouled. They offensive rebounded. Everything that goes to who the aggressor, every category, lean their way.
Next up for the Bucks is a trip to San Antonio to take on the Spurs. That one tips off at 7 o'clock on Friday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Experience the timeless charm of the Knickerbocker on the Lake, Milwaukee's premier boutique hotel. With its stunning architecture and modern comforts, every detail tells a story. Whether it's a romantic getaway, a business trip, or simply a night away, you'll find elegance, history, and a warm welcome waiting for you. The Knickerbocker on the Lake, where every moment feels like a chapter from the past, written just for you. Visit knickerbockeronthelake.com to book your stay today. An unforgettable getaway awaits.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. Food's here, and it's hot and ready.
Check out our appetizers, like crispy tornadoes, packed with bold fillings that'll keep you coming back for more. And experience Quick Trip Zesty Mini Tacos, bite-sized, big flavor, and totally irresistible. No dinner plans? Take home and bake a freshly made Cheese Mountain Pizza. So easy and delicious. Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans, for your game day compatriots and your personal cheerleaders, for all the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Support your overall health so you can be your best for those who matter to you most. Call Eric Pearson. Eric Pearson, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Tony Smith, he had crazy numbers. In 87 as a freshman, 8 points per game, 8. And yet his senior year, it tripled to 24 a game. Smith's average for many years was the highest single-season scoring average in Marquette history. And he scored 44 against Wisconsin. And 2 weeks later, 43 against Butler. Think. 87 in 2 games, when as a freshman, he scored 234 in an entire season.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We needed somebody to lean on.
Live from Maddie's Bar and Grill with new swag. I'm feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. Courtesy of Michelob Ultra, the official beer of the Milwaukee Bucks. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, hang with you. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. And see my new swag and our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
Maddie's hooked me up. I didn't know I was coming home with a new sweater.
And Kyle likes anything free, so he's going to be happy.
And it look good.
No matter what happens the rest
good.
of the show.
I look handsome in black and green and gold.
Time now for Wish number 4 for the Green Bay Packers.
Now, a look at Ben Brust's off-season wish list. Wish number 4.
Now, I will go over Wish 1, 2, and 3 at the end, but let's get right into Wish number 4 here. It is time to officially move on from Jair Alexander. I would love for the Packers to draft some secondary help in that cornerback position in either the first or second round. Here's why you need to be done. There's a funny stat going around the NBA right now of Joel Embiid, who's played in like 450 games and missed 400 games. Unfortunately, that's getting a lot of publicity. Unfortunately for the Packers, or fortunate, it's not publicized as much, but it's publicized. Since 2021, Jair Alexander has played just under 48% of snaps. In the last 4 years, he has played less than half the games 3 times. The best ability is availability. Ha ha ha, cliche, but cliches matter at a position in which we knew. And Kyle, when I had said, hey, do you want to buy this Super Bowl ticket from me? You didn't know Jair Alexander was going to be out.
I did not.
And that's when things tipped for you. We need to let others develop, and at this point, with the availability not being there, we all know what he's capable of on the field, but it's just time. It's time to let go. He was a great player. He was an all-pro, and that second contract was a big number. Obviously, he's not going to get another at this point. It's not the way Goody operates. Time to cut bait, restock in the draft, and let others continue to develop. Don't take the cap hit. Don't put any more on the books. Move on from Jair. That is wish number 4 from Ben Brust.
Ben, you're 4 for 4.
4 for 4.
You're 4 for 4 with the wish list because you look at Jair, and you're totally right. Everything you said is accurate about him. If you cut him, you save $6.5 million in cap space. But it's even more than that because the Packers and Goody and even the coaches, they structure their decision-making around guys like Jair. Because you say, okay, we got Jair Alexander. He can cover a wide receiver 1. Therefore, maybe we're okay with our wide receiver 2 not being as good. We can shift coverage. But you say that stat where he's played in less than half the games and Jair is gone, it leaves you so exposed on the back end because you didn't plan for that. You planned for him to play. You remove him from all those games, and you are in big trouble. Give me someone who consistently can play as opposed to a big question mark all the time.
See, y'all know how I feel about Jair. I'm real sweet on Jair. I got a soft spot for Jair.
Cornerback to cornerback.
Lock it in because he could be so good, man. So I'm so indifferent on Jair Alexander because in the big picture for me is that I understand he has not been available, and you say it all the time, the best availability is availability, but Jair Alexander has not been that. It is not just, once in a while thing. It has become a consistent pattern throughout his career that he's not going to give you a lot of games. When I looked at how many games he played and I saw the number 7 multiple times in the last 4 years, that ain't good, right? And so at the end of the day, the Packers are probably going to move on from Jair Alexander. And my biggest concern with this is that if the Packers defense wants to be elite, if this team wants to be able to capitalize on the Super Bowl window, execute that 3 to 5 year plan that Goody had, right? You can't do it without having a stud cornerback. And so we talked earlier about, is Matt LaFleur always going to keep his job because you understand that Matt LaFleur is going to give you consistency, he can get you to playoffs? Well, moving on from a guy like Jair Alexander, when you know he's healthy, he can be a difference maker.
Stop hitting the table. You're shaking the camera.
Sorry. It's very nerve-wracking to me because if we move on from Jair, and I know he hasn't played as much, but I'd rather have Jair for 7 to 10 games than not have a lockdown corner at all, right? Because then all of a sudden we're having a conversation talking about this defensive backing core is getting torched. They don't have a good corner. They got Eric Stokes out there. They got a rookie out there who's not looking good. And so I just understand what the other side could be, and the flip side could be our DBs getting torched, and I don't want that.
Well, I almost wonder on the YouTube chat that we got going on, Justin Abel says, bring back Rasul Douglas. Rasul Douglas playing 17 games consistently at a good level between Jair playing sometimes elite, other times he's not on the field at all. I would rather take the consistency of Rasul Douglas.
He's 30. Yeah, he's over the hump for Goody.
Saying, like over the last couple of years.
I know. I'm just saying in general. Like,
I mean, hindsight.
He's too old.
Hindsight-wise, when we look back at it, how much I would prefer to have Jair Alexander because I know the difference he can be. You were probably better off last season and this season having Rasul Douglas on your roster than having Jair Alexander. And Jair Alexander at this point ain't worth much. So you're better off saving the cap space, moving on, and praying that you can sign a new cornerback or draft a stud. But I don't.
Another hindsight's 2020. They traded the wrong guy.
Just like that. The thing is, you remove Jair. And you say, boy, that's a big hole then.
It's a huge hole, gaping hole.
You got to address that. Free draft. You got to do a lot. No, Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams.
Semi-truck.
You could drive a semi-truck through the hole that's going to be left.
Oh, wow. That's a big old hole right there.
I'm glad you gave me some context.
Yeah.
It's like, what do semi-trucks have holes?
Nah,
so I agree with Ben Bruss' wish list. The additional challenge comes in addressing it. Goody, it's on you to find your guy in free agency or the draft.
Do you trust Goody? Because this wish list
is
only good if
you
you
say
trust
that.
Goody.
Because, Strofe, what do you think we're going to do next after I give you my 4 wishes?
I'm confused by the question.
Well, in the 414 out of 4, I want to know after Rob Domofsky joined us yesterday. With him saying the Super Bowl window is wide open, at least for the next 2 years, do you trust Goody to build a Super Bowl championship team over the next 2 years? And part of this will be, if you do move on from Jair, filling those semi-truck holes that Kyle Wallace is talking about. But let's go through the wishes.
Wish number 1.
Spin the block with Devontae Adams. Bring the veteran in at 32. He may be outside the age that you're looking for, but he's a hungry veteran who I think would come at the right price and not too much, who is hunting for his legacy to have a better resume at the end of his career because he went to loser franchises such as the Jets and the Raiders and went nowhere close to a championship.
Wish number 2.
Trade one of your first-round picks for a proven pass rusher. Please make the rumors be true. What is the rumor quote, Strofe?
Oh, boy. Rumors are what the jealous hope are true.
I hope it's true that Goody is talking to Spy Tech, the general manager of the Raiders, to find a way to shift some people and picks around to bring Max Crosby. Let's trade a first-round pick for a pass rusher. And wish number 3?
Wish number 3.
Re-sign Brandon McManus. I don't want to do the kicker carousel again. No young kickers. You have somebody that didn't make you nervous at all. Wish number 4.
Wish number 4.
Move on from Jair. It's going to be tough to fill that hole, but at this point, save the money with cutting him. He's not around, man. He's not available. 3 of the last 4 years, less than half of the games played. That is the wish list. Wish 5 will be tomorrow. The Damn Sports Show is up next in Beaver Dam. Jim, Matt, and Molly are next in Madison, and we're live from Maddie's Bar and Grill. Compliments of Michelob Ultra. Until 5 o'clock, leading you into the Homer Hour. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle Bruss-Nortman, and we are back in 2 short minutes.
Don't remember what they said. I guess it doesn't matter. Guess it doesn't matter anymore. You're gonna go to the record store. You're gonna give them all your money. Radio